Steve Jobs founded Apple with Steve Wozniak on April 1st, 1976, in Cupertino, California. The first Apple computer was made on April 11, 1976, and was the first Apple computer in Homebrew Computer Club in Palo Alto. When Steve Jobs founded Pixar with Ed Catmull and Alvy Ray Smith, on February 3, 1986, when Steve Jobs bought it, it was called the graphics group for Lucasfilm for $5 million. Steve Jobs created Toy Story in November 22, 1995, with director John Lasseter and Catmull. By modern standards, the PowerBook 100 series is the first true laptop Apple released. It wasn't the company's first portable computer, however. In September 1989, Apple launched the Macintosh Portable, a battery-powered Mac you could take on the move. The iPhone, colloquially known as the iPhone 2G after 2009, is the first smartphone designed and marketed by Apple Inc. After years of rumors and speculation, it was officially announced on January 9, 2007, and was later released in the United States on June 29, 2007. The Apple TV first generation was a digital media player, micro-console, a network appliance, and entertainment device which could be connected to an widescreen TV with either HDMI or component video. It supported both analog and digital audio, VIA, RCA, and optical S or PDF outputs. Apple also released a new version of the Apple TV software, which allowed users to rent HD movies directly from the device. It was also announced in January 2007. Apple TV with a 40GB hard disk was introduced on March 21, 2007. Apple TV with the 160GB option followed on May 30, 2007. The original 15-inch MacBook Pro was announced on January 10th by Steve Jobs at the Macworld Conference and Expo. The 17-inch model was unveiled on April 24, 2006. The first design was largely a carryover from the PowerBook G4, but used Intel Core CPUs instead of PowerPC G4 chips. Steve Jobs sold Pixar to Walt Disney. Walt Disney announced that it was buying Pixar in a deal worth $7.4 billion. The iPhone 4S was made on October 14, 2011. 3 days after Steve Jobs died. It has an 8MP camera with a dual-core chip that delivers more power. Steve Jobs worked on the iPhone 5S and iPhone 6 and 6S design. Prior to his death back in 2011, Apple co-founder and CEO Steve Jobs had already started working in the upcoming iPhone 5S and 6S. New reports have suggested Steve Jobs died just days after the iPhone 4S was formally unveiled to the world.